Hey everybody, welcome to the very first recap of Skating with the Stars. It's a new show, kind of. I mean, they had a season of this like 4 or 5 years ago, so this is the, I think, improved version of the first one. It's dangerous. Everybody likes danger. You could totally get an arm or a leg sliced off, or even a pinky, or maybe even your costume. So the best part of the show, the host has a British accent. All right, my favorite always. They started off the show with the pro skate. They have an interesting set. It kind of like has this little, I don't know what you would call it, like this little runway that goes around the back. The pro skate was really entertaining. I mean, the pros are talented. The bestest part was when they announced the judges, because I didn't realize this before. I only knew who the celebrities were. I didn't realize that Jonny Weir was one of the judges. Hello! He's only my favoritist male skater ever. I could hear Maddie squeal from here. They had Laurianne Gibson, another one of Maddie's favorites, and Dick Button. That guy is a friggin' legend. A legend in skate. And it made me think, this is awfully similar. Where have I seen this show before? Oh, this is Dancing with the Stars. Right down to the friggin' judges. Dick Button is like Len. Gay Bruno is like Jonny Weir, hello. And Carrie Ann Anaba, Laurianne Gibson, hello. I mean, right down to the name. So there's going to be 2 required elements this week, an assisted glide and a pair spin. So they've only had 5 weeks of training. That is not a long time to be getting onto ice skates, dangerous ice skates. Up first was Brandon Michael Smith and Keauna McLaughlin. It was kind of good because none of the pros were like really known. So it was nice to like not have that competition between the pros where they were pretty much all relatively unknown. But let me tell you that Keauna, she looked like she could be Cheryl Burke's twin from Dancing with the Stars. Another parallel. Did she get the job because she looks like Cheryl? Alright, so they set the bar really high with their routine. He's a roller skater, not exactly the same thing as ice skating, but I'm sure it helped immensely. He's got a lot of potential, he's got great musicality. I think he's one of the best on the guy side. So they gave 2 sets of scores, one for technical and one for artistic. For technical they got a 16 and for artistic a 20, so they ended up with a 36 for the night. Not too shabby. Alright, Sean Young and Denis Petikov up next. She's a nut. She's certifiable. She's an F-nut. And she's also the least experienced out of the 6 celebrities. When she did her routine, I kept thinking, well, at least she didn't fall. Although I felt bad for him because it was kind of like pushing a mannequin around on the ice. Everybody was really kind to her though. They said she was graceful and blah blah blah, and I think they were just a little starstruck because she's been in some really iconic movies. Technically they got a 16, artistically an 18, so they ended up with a 34. Up next, Johnny Mosley and Brooke Castile. He's an Olympic skater. An Olympic gold medal skater, I might add. So, in rehearsal, he took a kick to the groin with a skate on. Ouch. That would take a lot for me to want to get back on the ice if I had taken a blade to the groin. This routine was totally high energy, especially for a bear in a swamp, which is what he was. He needs to work on the finesse. Other than that, I think he's got a lot of potential as well. Technically, he got a 21 and artistically a 19, so they ended up with a 40. That's pretty high on the leaderboard there. Then, Jonny Weir put on his best Lady Gaga costume and performed to Poker Face. I know Maddie is going to die if she hasn't seen this yet. I'm going to have to get out the defibrillator paddles because this is like overload for her. And by the way, it was insane and I totally loved it. And I think I might even put in my own application for HAG right now. All right, so Rebecca, just get that out of your mind. Up next, Rebecca Budig and Fred Palachek, or Palasek. The real pronunciation, I'm sure, is Palachek. He's Slavish, you know. All right, she skated as a kid. She used to put on little shows with her sister, which is exactly what I used to do when I was a kid. So I can totally relate. She did a really great job. Obviously, she looks like she's the one to beat this season, this very short season of like 6 weeks. She needs to work on the nerves a little bit though, but she's definitely got the talent for certain. Technically a 21, artistically a 24, and I think that was actually pretty low. They ended up with a 45, which was the highest score of the night. Now Vince Neil and Jennifer Wester up next. Everybody knows who he is. He's a super rocker, man. He skated as a kid and actually won some sort of an award. But right now, all he pretty much does is fall a lot. I can't believe he didn't fall during the routine because he was shaky as hell. Oh my God. He didn't really do that much though to make himself fall, so I guess he was in no danger. He's known for wearing tight pants and guy liner. Unfortunately now, the reason why his pants are tight is just because he's fat and old. But I gotta give him extra points for the guy liner. It's always a plus at any age. So technically a 14, ouch. And artistically a 14. They ended up with the lowest score of the night at 28. Alright, this is the one everybody's been waiting for. Come on, she got a standing O after she did her performance, and that is none other than Bethenny Frankel and Ethan Burgess. Let me tell you, the best part about this whole thing for Bethenny Frankel, Jill Zarin must be so jealous. I mean, come on. Anybody who's watched New York Housewives knows that when Jill Zarin had her skating party, I bet she knew that this was going to happen, and she was trying to put it out there because she wanted to be on the show. Ha ha ha, Jill. All right, so I thought Bethany was really fantastic in this. And did you see Kate and Tony? I'm thinking, wow, that's really nice that they came over and you know, came over for the show. And then I'm thinking, but they were probably just on the set next door. So then I was like, oh, well, that's not so special then. But it was nice that they came to support her. She made it through the routine. She gets dizzy easily. She didn't look very dizzy, but then again, she was as stiff as a corpse, honey. Oh boy. Technically a 15, artistically a 14. I think the judges were a skosh unkind to her. But you know what? It doesn't friggin' matter because I'm sure that they're going to get the voting. So they ended up with a 29. That's 1 point off the bottom, which is Vince Neil. Next week, we're going to take this week's scores. We're going to use next week's scores, which are going to be the results from a tango or a swing dance on ice, and the public voting. So guess what? The one with the lowest score goes home. Ouch. So until next week, much love.